Look, Claude deleted the red sentence and wrote the green one to replace it 20 minutes ago in the file that says who my business is for. And that's everything else it touched while it was in there. All of it laid out on one page on GitHub. AI changes stuff all the time, but here's why this change made me stop. I gave it 3 jobs on a cat-sitting business I invented for this video. Tighten the customer description, move one booking, and make the booking page work out the total for a stay. It did those things, but it also went into the file where my prices live. Changing what I charge was never one of the jobs. Luckily, none of the changes really touched my project yet. I still have this morning's version of all those files ready to snap back to if needed. All those changes are sitting on a page on GitHub instead, waiting for me to press the button that makes them official. So I get to read the whole thing first and then decide. I'll be honest with you, I don't know yet whether I'll press that button. This review page is how I now check every piece of AI work on this business. And getting one for your own project takes a couple of prompts. The harder part is reading it, so I'll show you that too on a business document, a spreadsheet, and a piece of code. My previous video, linked in the description below, was about how to get a timeline for your project so that you can undo AI work. It goes into the mental model behind the mechanism you'll learn today, but you don't need to have watched it to follow along here. All you need to know is this. AI work can happen on a separate copy of your project, leaving the original files untouched until you decide to fold in the changes. Each saved project state is a dot on a timeline you can go back to in a single click. It takes 3 steps to get there, and I will walk you through all of them. By the end, when a bot goes somewhere you didn't ask it to, you find out while you can still do something about it. Park, review, release. Park. You save your project and send it up to the cloud, so there's always a version to come back to. Review. You go to the page I've just shown you to see all the changes made and decide whether they match your original intention. Release. You accept the changes and press the button that makes them the official state of the project. Any AI agent can happily do all of these, and I'll give you all the prompts you need to make it happen. Get ready to screenshot them. Step 1. Park. Before we proceed, we need to get GitHub working. Once, and then we always have it. After that, Park is just a simple prompt that keeps your project safe before the bot touches it. Let's rewind to this morning, before any of this existed. I have a fresh computer with nothing on it except a folder with the cat-sitting business files. Let's see how we get from that to a working backup system that the bot refreshes every time you ask. Hey Claude, set this project up on GitHub. Walk me through it step by step. I might need an account and I might be missing tools. Pause for everything I have to do in the browser and never ask me to paste codes or secrets into the chat. Then create an empty private repository named after this folder and give me the link. Don't push anything yet. Nothing in the prompt is specific to Claude. Codex, Gemini, or whatever you're already using can do the same setup for you. 2 parts of that prompt are important. First, I told it to stop and hand over anything I have to do in a browser myself because it shouldn't be signing up to a service on my behalf. I also told it never to ask me for codes or passwords in the chat. Anything you paste in there gets stored. You don't want that to be a password. Here it is checking for missing tools and decided to install GitHub's command line tool. Then it went on to create the repository and stopped because there's nobody signed in. Let's pretend I don't have an account and make one. It's free and takes about 2 minutes through an ordinary web form. Now comes the handshake. It gives me a short code, I put it into the browser, and then I approve the connection. That gives Claude permission to act as me on GitHub, without ever seeing my password or any other secret. Now it can proceed, so it created the repo like I asked. A repo is short for repository, which is just what a project is called once it's being tracked in the cloud. Mine is empty, and it's private, so only I can see it. If I want to share it with others, I can add them individually or make it public later. Now we're ready to hit the ground running. Every time you want to save the state of your project, for example, before you let the bot make a major change, you ask for 2 things: commit and push. Commit saves where the project is right now. Push sends that copy up to GitHub. Commit everything as it stands right now and push it to GitHub so there's a point to come back to. Depending on your settings, it might ask you to approve the push. That's a yes. And there's the project, in both places at once. My computer and in the cloud. That was Park. It took about 3 minutes to set up, but should be super quick every time after that. Step 2. Review. This is the part most tutorials don't cover, and the step you set up before the bot starts doing anything. By default, an AI agent will finish its task and give you a summary of what it did. It won't give you a detailed record of the changes. The page you saw at the beginning doesn't appear on its own. I have to ask for it explicitly. Hey Claude, work on a separate branch and open a pull request for the changes. Don't merge it. I'll read it and press the button myself. Do the following things. Tighten the ideal customer file so it describes a single person, not a category. Update Sarah Jensen's appointment since she moved her May booking a week later and has already paid. Then make the booking page work out the total from the dates and the rate. The separate copy I asked for has a name. It's called a branch. The official project version, the one where changes eventually end up, is called the main branch. The pull request, or PR for short, is the page where we can review the changes before allowing them to appear on the main branch. The action of promoting the changes from a different branch to the main branch is called a merge. My prompt tells the bot to edit 3 very different things: a paragraph, a row in a spreadsheet, and a piece of code. They have nothing in common except that every one of them is characters typed into a file, and yet all 3 will land on the same review page. GitHub was invented by engineers, for engineers, but text is text. A newsletter, a course, a folder of client notes, even a book, can all be tracked and reviewed in the same way. So whatever your project is, it's worth sticking around to learn this backup method. Now, the reading itself. This page looks like the technical part, but the question I bring to it isn't technical at all. Before I open anything, I decide what I'm going to ask of every single file. It all boils down to, does this change reflect what I meant? Not whether it's correct, not whether it's clever, but whether it reflects what I meant, which is a question about my own business, and I'm the only one who can answer it. First, the file names. A quick scan gives me an overview of where the bot has been. Then, I open them one by one, starting with the one where a surprise would hurt the most. Notice what I just did. I read the sentence that was removed, compared it with the one that replaced it, and asked whether the new one reflects my intention. This is track changes, the thing you already know from Word documents, but done for every file in the project at once. The PR page is just a tool. It shows me everything that changed, fast. It can't tell me whether a change is what I actually intended. Using GitHub doesn't stop the AI from doing whatever it wants on its copy of the project. It only stops that work from landing in my official version unread. In other words, it gives me the final say. Next file, the one I told you about at the start. My offer, what I sell and what I charge for it. And there it is. Nobody asked the bot to touch my prices, and yet it connected the new customer description to the offer and decided that they should match. To be fair, that's not a crazy thought. It might even be a good idea. But what I charge is a decision I make about my business, and it's mine to make. Not something that just happens to me as a side effect of an AI agent making an edit to the customer file. So this change is not going in. And here's the part almost nobody teaches. I don't have to reject all the changes to refuse one piece. I can put just this file back the way it was. That action is called a revert. The file returns to this morning's version, and everything else stays changed and ready for review. Hey Claude, revert the offer file. Pricing is my call. Keep all the other changes and update the pull request. And it's gone. Off the list because that file now matches this morning's version exactly. The rest of the work is still here, still waiting to be read. Refusing one change was quick, and now I can proceed. Same page, different material. We're looking at the spreadsheet now. These are the bookings. Customers down the side, cats, dates, nightly rate, who has paid already. It's the file I'd actually be upset to lose, and if the bot makes a mistake here, it costs me real money, or somebody's cat doesn't get fed on the right day. To review the changes, I flip the file to a different view. It's a bit uglier, but still legible. The table goes away, and you get commas to separate the values, column by column. But watch what's actually lit up and marked as a change. It's not the whole line, it's only the values. One customer, one booking, moved and paid for. Just like I asked. Same question as the last file. Does that reflect what I meant? Yes. This change can stay. On to the next file, the booking page on the website. I asked the bots to let customers pick their dates and automatically calculate what the stay would cost. Since this is code, it doesn't make sense to check it line by line. I'll just run it instead. And because everything on my computer is still on a separate copy of the project, I can test the new behavior before it touches the official version of my project. Hey Claude, run the booking page from the pull request you opened and give me a link so I can try it in the browser. Whenever I'm testing code, I look out for two things. 1, is the new thing I asked for there? And 2, does the old thing still work as before? New thing first. The price shows up and it matches the rate the plan promises. Good to go. Old thing. I can still book a cat and the booking still lands in the list as it should. If either of those had been wrong, I'd have told the bot what broke and let it try again. So that was the review of a code change, and I didn't need to read a single line of it. And neither do you when reviewing your own project. Step 2, the review, is now done. 3 completely different kinds of file, and we judge the bot's work on all of them in just a few minutes. That's a win in my book, wouldn't you say? If it's one in yours too, hit like. It gets this video in front of more people who need this method to save their projects from unwanted AI changes. We're almost done. Step 3, release. This one takes 10 seconds, one button click, and the only reason the button click is safe to do is everything we've done so far. This is the pull requests front page. At the top, we have the bot's description of its work in its own words. The files we just read are in the next tab. Down at the bottom, there's the green button that makes everything official and the comment box. That one is not for the bot. If you ever work with other people on a project, this is where they'd read your notes on their changes and leave their thoughts. Today is just me here, so there will be no comments. Here's an optional habit that I strongly encourage you to pick up. You'll thank me later. This page doesn't disappear after the merge. It stays attached to this version of the project, description and all. Months from now, that description is how you'll know what changed here without opening a single file. So it's worth making sure it actually covers the work, and since the bot can check that for itself, all we need to do is ask, "Hey Claude, go through your own description of this PR against the list of files that actually changed. Tell me about anything the description doesn't mention, then fix the description." At the beginning of the video, I said I didn't know whether I'd accept Claude's changes. Turns out the answer was not all of them. The price change went back. Everything else, I've read it, I've tried it, the description checks out. So the last click is the merge. Let's press it, and done, merged. What was a proposal a minute ago is now the official state of my project. Every change I kept is now in the files themselves. The next time I open this project, the bot's work is simply part of it. Before today, pull request was something you'd have skipped in a menu. It was hiding something genuinely useful. You read a PR end to end. Pros, a spreadsheet row, and a piece of code. You watch the change get refused, and now you know how to do it for yourself when the time comes. You've leveled up today. Next time you point the bot at your project, remember the 3 steps: park, preview, release. Store your project online, privately. Let bots propose the changes instead of landing them straight in your files. Read the proposals, keep what matches your intention, and send the rest back. The same mechanism can host your website for $0. In my next video, I'll show you how to create a simple website that updates itself every time you merge a pull request. Subscribe, and I'll see you there.